Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sam and I'm a former teacher turned instructional designer working in tech. One thing I love about the tech industry is that things are always changing. But one thing that also makes my life harder is that things are always changing. As an instructional designer, as soon as you push publish on a course or like a training or some sort of doc, there's a new feature that needs to be added, new changes that need to be made. And if you're an instructional designer too, I'm sure you can relate. So there's a few hacks that I've learned throughout my time as an instructional designer that I've implemented in my day-to-day routine that help keep me organized and ultimately reduce the stress of keeping up with these fast-paced tech changes. And it really boils down to ensuring that my training workflow is optimized. So whether you're a training manager who wants to optimize your team's workflow, or if you're an instructional designer who wants to ensure that your time is optimized and that you're able to be as efficient as possible, then this video is for you. And I'm super excited to be partnering with Sync.com to show you exactly how it's done. So hack number 1 is to keep your files organized. Now, this might seem obvious, but let me tell you, I've been in places where this has not been the case. Keeping your files organized not only saves you time, but also helps your teammates find anything that you're collaborating on, or even find files that they might need to help you out with when you're taking time off. Let's talk about how to keep your files organized in a way that's super intuitive and will really help speed up your training workflow using the sponsor of today's video, Sync.com. All right, so to create my file organization system, I'll be using Sync.com's Pro Teams Plus Unlimited plan, which makes my files as well as my teammates' files easy to access from anywhere and enables secure remote access and secure work from home. So as you can see, I have a folder called Company Training Team. And in the Training Team folder, I have subfolders for the types of trainings that we build. So ILTs, which is instructor-led trainings, TTTs, which is train the trainers, and e-learning, which is your online learning that learners can log into and do, self-paced learning. So if you click into each of these folders, I'll have subfolders with the names of each of the trainings or learning paths that I'm working on. The reason for all these folders and organization is because we can have anywhere from like 5 to even like 30 assets per training. And I don't want to waste time clicking through random docs in one general folder to find the doc or the image that, you need for that training. I've been there, and trust me, it's not a great way to spend your lunch break searching through a million images just labeled image _ 503. Where this type of organization takes a bit of time to set up, but trust me when I say it saves a ton of time in the long run. All right, so the most important piece of this organization puzzle is how you name your files, and trust me when I say that this has been a game changer in how I am staying organized and optimizing my training workflow. So you can see here I was lazy and I just named my files what they were, like design doc, needs analysis, but this can cause issues in the long run, especially when I'm asking like SMEs or stakeholders to review files. They're not gonna know what it is if it's just labeled design doc. So to keep things organized, I'm gonna put an abbreviation of the course in brackets, followed by the file name and then the update date. I like having the name of the course as well as like what the type of doc is, as well as the update date, because when I'm sharing this with, say, a SME or a subject matter expert or a stakeholder, when they click into the link that I'm going to send them, they'll know exactly what they're looking at, because sometimes I'm asking them to review a few different documents, and so I want them to know exactly what they're looking at right away. So yeah, this is really important to label each asset or each file, because as I'm building out this training, I'll be adding at least 10 to 20 more files to this folder. And Sync.com's Pro Teams Unlimited plan provides unlimited storage space, which means that even if I make a bunch of training videos, which I will label appropriately, I'll never run out of storage space. Okay, so hack number 2 to optimize your training workflow is to make sure that you are sharing the right files with the right people. And in this case, like from an instructional design standpoint, the people I'm referring to are our stakeholders and our subject matter experts. If you've seen my previous video, I'll link it up here, but I talk about what a stakeholder is. They're the people who kind of have ownership and a stake in what you're creating. And the subject matter experts, or the SMEs, are the people who are the experts in whatever topic you're creating. And you'll want them to review your content to make sure that it's accurate and reflects exactly what and how the product works. The reason that this is so important is because as an instructional designer, there is literally nothing worse than sharing your document with a SME or a stakeholder only for them to ping you and be like, hey, I don't have access to this document. Can you please give me access? And sometimes it can be kind of already a challenge to get them to agree to review and take time to review and give comments on your training. So it's super important to make it as easy as possible for them to click in, review, comment, edit anything that you're asking them to review. Delaying a review due to like an accidental permissions issue is just something that's so avoidable and can create like a significant delay in launch of your trainings, and it's so easily avoidable. So I definitely suggest making sure that you prevent it at all costs. So if we jump back into our e-learning folder, I love using sync.com because each of the individual training folders can have special permissions and access levels. So I'll be sure to add any subject matter expert or reviewer or stakeholder to the right training folder using the admin controls. I'll also be sure to add all of the trainers I work with to the general instructor-led training and train the trainer folders, since once I build the content for the ILTs and the TTTs, they'll be the ones to take that content and conduct trainings. And they'll never have to ping me mid-training and ask for access to a deck or video they need, which has certainly happened before. So the last hack to ensure that your training workflow is optimized is to plan in advance to update your content. What I mean by that is as soon as you've created and launched your training, make sure that you follow up with the stakeholders and the subject matter experts to let them know that you've actually launched your course, and also ask them to keep you in the loop of any sort of product features or updates that are coming to the product or the feature, so that you're, not scrambling last minute to make changes and updates to your trainings. I also recommend setting up regular quarterly, which is every 3-month, calendar reminders to remind you to check in with the subject matter expert or stakeholder of each training that you're working on, just to make sure that everything is up to date. There's nothing like glaringly obvious that needs to be fixed. This also is where having your files organized is super important, because you will be able to see the last update date on your design doc. You'll know, okay, I updated this in June of 2023. It's now, Q3. I need to make sure that I'm checking in with my subject matter experts, checking in with my stakeholders to just see if there's anything that needs to be changed. Then, based on what they tell you, you can craft a plan to start creating your update. And those are 3 hacks that you can use to optimize your training workflow. Remember, it's super important to create a system that ensures that you and your team can work productively and efficiently from anywhere. It saves not only your time, but everyone else's at the company. And thank you again to the sponsor of this video, sync.com. It is truly the perfect all-in-one cloud storage solution for your training team. And if you're interested in trying out sync.com, I have an exclusive discount offer that is available at sync.com/Sam. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.